I just think we have to put a bit of perspective on this, though. I mean, nobody got hurt. Nobody
But that's
got
not
hurt.
true. But that's
Well,
not true.
I mean-
Somebody did get hurt. And actually, it matters less in some ways how you see it and matters more about how your wife is affected. Because whether you agree with it or not, this is profoundly affecting your marriage. So it behooves you to get curious as opposed to stay defensive. And whether you agree with it or not, whether any of you agree with it or not, this is a problem. It's a problem.
What about the fact that we've been friends with Dominic for years and we know him?
We've got a bond.
We have a
Someone's
bond
gonna be there.
that's, you know, it's...
However,
if he's moving on
when
to
you
the next phase
get
of his
married,
life, is it
when
a-
you get married, the bond shifts, and you have to decide. You have to decide who you're going to stand next to, front and center in your life. It's not your fellows that you're going to go on and build a life with and have children with, gain trust and intimacy with. They're not going to be living with you.
We're still young, though. It's not like, you know, we're 40-year-olds or 50-year-olds who are like, oh my gosh, we're still having fun. You got married at a young age. I got married at a young age, and there's still, you know, the boyish part of ourselves that need to have fun. Otherwise, what do you end up with?
You can defend this however you want, but it's not going to get you any closer together. When your friend decides to get married, he also decides to let go of one portion of his life and step into a next. And to be a good friend, yes, to be a good man, to be an honorable man, would be to support him in that endeavor. What happened that day makes you all ordinary. It makes it ordinary. And you want to be an extraordinary man, right? You want to be extraordinary for this love, yes?
Yeah.
You want to be extraordinary. And sadly, it became an ordinary day, which was profoundly disappointing to the woman that you love most. I want to comment on something you said, and that was, I hope you're not mad at me. You're not going to get mad at me, right? So I want to start there. In being honest, right, you don't get to control how the other person's going to be. What we addicts do is hold our family members hostage, right? So if you tell me the truth, I'm going to get mad at you, right? If you tell me the truth about who you are, how you feel, and how you see my life, I'm going to punish you. And it keeps you quiet. And you being quiet keeps us sick. Don't mistake keeping your mouth shut as loving, because it isn't. I want to be very clear. It's not. The most loving thing you can do is to tell the truth, even if somebody goes away. But your amend to your family and to your aunt is to show up for that and to allow that space for it, right? You don't get to escape. Mm-hmm. That's a luxury that you don't get anymore. And you're going to have to figure out how to sit in your life and what you've done to it and the pain that you've caused if you're going to stay sober.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I want integrity, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I've never really had.
It's something that you've never really had. I think that's a really important statement. It's probably the most honest thing that's come out of your mouth, is not having integrity. And how do we learn integrity? And you know how you learn integrity? By showing up and be honest, being transparent, and telling the truth about who you are. Hardest thing in recovery you're going to learn how to do is how to be transparent and tell the truth about who I am and have no shame or pride about either. You got to align yourself with other young men just like you. Your mom is not going to teach you how to be sober in the world. Your mom can't teach you how to be a young man in the world. You got to learn that from other young men that are living sober, that are changing their lives so that they can teach you how to be deep and whole.
Yeah, I've been trying not to call her so much because I noticed it seems like I'm obsessed, kind of.
A little bit.
It's like every little thing that I do, it's like I got to talk. Yeah.
A little bit, because you're a 22-year-old man, right? I don't know too many 22-year-old men that
But
call
I
their
didn't
mom
get to
5
call her
times.
for years.
Trust me, I understand. You got to find a connection, a fellowship of other men that can teach you. I'm telling you, it's going to save your life, not your mom. Mm-hmm. Right? Your mom's time of teaching you is over. You got to learn from other young men. I would advise carefully that you really mind your relationship with her, because my feeling is your connection to her is to try and find something you didn't find before, to try and gain what you didn't have as a child. And sadly, that time is over, and that's the grief that you need to work through. So you're going to have to find fellowship. I'd strongly recommend that you find a therapist. You have a lot on your plate as a young man, right? I mean, you're HIV positive, you're a recovering drug addict. You have a lot to heal from. But you can do this. You can. I'm telling you. I believe in addicts, right? I'm a great champion of addicts. I believe this because if I can do it, anyone can. I believe that. I believe that. You got to take it slow. And the thing about recovery, right? The thing about recovery is that you can't get it quickly. You only get it one day at a time, which I used to want to punch people when they said that to me, but it's just the truth. And look, I'm sitting here with 20 years continuous sobriety, and I was as messed up as they come, right? But you're going to get it slowly, and you want that easy come, easy go, right? So you don't want things to come too easy, like your family and all this. You know, you want it to come slow because you'll earn it. You want to earn it. If you don't earn it, you won't keep it. So I know that there's a lot of you out there that may relate to this, and whether it's addiction or other family issues, being honest with each other is always a very difficult part of any intimate relationship. I encourage people always to find outside help, to get support. Being honest in an intimate relationship in many ways is a skill that needs to be learned in a safe environment. So whether that's through therapy or 12 steps or your church or any other place that you find that community, I encourage you to do so because there is hope. Change is possible. We do recover. Families can come together in really beautiful and amazing ways. I'm an example of it. You are an example of it. And there are millions of families out there that have done it and achieved it. And it's an extraordinary way to live a life.